Okay, we have another question under the complex number. It said that simplify the following: I to power 8 and 2, 12 to I to power 12, I to power 19, 20, and 30. Okay, whenever you are asked to simplify these i's, what you need to do, first of all, write your fourth root of unity. That is, I raised to the power of 2 is equal to negative 1. I raised to the power of 3, it will give you minus 1 multiplied by I, which is equal to minus I. Then this one is going to be our minus I, and then I raised to the power of 4, it will give us minus 1 times minus 1, because I raised to the power of 4 is the same thing as I squared times I squared, which is negative 1 times negative 1, and this is nothing but positive 1. Just let me write just 1. And I to power 1 is equal to I. Okay, let's assume this one is our fourth root of unity. By this one, we will simplify this one very easy. Let's start with question 1. I raised to the power of 8 is the same thing as I raised to the power of 2 multiplied by 4 multiplied by I raised to the power of 4. But I to power 4 is 1, and also I to power 4 is 1, which is the same thing as 1 times 1, which is equal to 1. Simple. And the question 2, we have I raised to the power of 12, and this one is the same thing as I raised to the power of 8 multiplied by I raised to the power of 4, because this 4 plus this 8, it will give us 12. But from here we can see that I raised to the power of 8 is the same thing as 1. Then you write 1 multiplied by I raised to the power of 4. I raised to the power of 4 is 1, which is equal to 1 times 1, which is equal to 1 for the question 2. And for the question 3, this one is I raised to the power of 19. And this one is the same thing as I raised to the power of 16 multiplied by I raised to the power of 3. Because if you add this 3 and 16, it will give us 19. Then I raised to the power of 16 is the same thing as 8 root 8 times 8, which is equal to 1. 1 times 1 is equal to 1 for the 16 multiplied by I raised to the power of 3. Don't forget, I raised to the power of 3 is equal to minus I. Minus I. And 1 times minus I is the same thing as minus I. And the question 4, I raised to the power of 20. I raised to the power of 20 is the same thing as I raised to the power of 16 multiplied by I raised to the power of 4. Because I raised to the power of 16, we have it here, is negative 1, is negative I mean, and I raised to the power of 4 is equal to 1. So this one is nothing but minus I, no, sorry, 16. 16 is 1, because 8 times 8 is the same thing as 1 times 1, which is equal to 1. Therefore, I raised to the power of 16, let me write it here. I raised to the power of 16 is the same thing as 8 multiplied by I raised to the power of 8, which will give us this 16. But I to power 8 is 1. I to power 8 is 1. 1 times 1 is 1. Then this one, we will write it as 1 multiplied by I raised to the power of 4 is 1, which is 1. Then 1 times 1, it will give us 1. Then the last one for I is I raised to the power of 30. So then this I raised to the power of 30 is the same thing as I raised to the power of, let me write it in this form. I can write this as I raised to the power of 20. I raised to the power of 20 multiplied by I raised to the power of 10. and I raised to the power of 20, we can see it here is 1. Then I can write this as 1 multiplied by I raised to the power of 10. I raised to the power of 10 is the same thing as I raised to the power of 8 multiplied by I raised to the power of 2. And I raised to the power of 10, 8 I mean, is equal to 1. Then I square is equal to minus 1. Then 1 times minus 1, it will give you minus 1. And 1 times minus 1, it will give you minus 1. Simple. Whenever you are solving this kind of problem, you can use what you solved before. And it may be different from this. You can even write I raised to the power of 2 times I raised to the power of 2 times I raised to the power of 2 up to this. Or you can write it 5 times, this one. If you write this I raised to the power of 25 times, like to say I raised to the power of 4 times I raised to the power of 4 up to 5, it will give you the sum of that 20, which is 1 times 1 times 1 times 1, and it's the same thing as 1. And for this, you can write it like this. If you like, you can write it in this form. Whatever you do, you must get this kind of functions. They are periodic numbers. Let's look at the next question.